Okay, pre-algebra. New topic, kinda, not really. We're still solving equations. This time, instead of the variables being on one side and we have to simplify them, we're going to see variables on both sides of the equation. And how do we solve those problems when we have variables on both sides of the equations? So let's take a look. So here is our first set of problems here. Again, they're right from the packet, so we can kind of work through them as we go together here. So let's look at number one. I got 7 plus 6x equaling x plus 7 minus 8x. On the right-hand side, I need to combine the like terms first because I have an x and a negative 8x. I want to combine them first. So the 7 plus 6x, I'm not going to do anything with. X minus 8x will give me a negative 7x plus 7. Okay, now that I have it simplified on both sides, I want to move the variable first, and I always want to move the smaller variable first. So if I have one that's a negative, I would want to move it before I move anything else. So I'm going to add 7x to both sides, because what that allows me to do is get the x's off of the right-hand side. They're going to cancel off. And then on the left, I have 7 plus 13x equaling, the only thing left on my right is 7. Now I can go ahead and get rid of this 7 that's on the left, and I get 13x equals 0, so that must mean that x is 0. Now let's go back in and check it. 7 plus 6 times 0 is just a 7, and 0 plus 7 minus 8 times 0 would give me a 0 and a 0, leaving me with a 7, and a 7 does equal 7, so x does equal 0 in that case. Okay, so let's look at the next problem. Again, I have quantities here on the right-hand side that I need to simplify. So I'd want to do those first. So I got the 15 minus 6k equaling a negative 3k minus 6k would give me a negative 9k. Now, in this case, yes, I would want to move the smaller variable, which would be the negative 9k. However, there's no other numbers on that side. So with this one, I'm going to want to move this negative 6k instead, get rid of the 6k instead of the negative 9k, so I only have it on the one side. So I will add 6k to both sides, and that gets me 15 on the left and a negative 3k on the right. Now I'm going to get the k by itself by dividing by a negative 3. And that gives me a negative 5 equals k. And once again, I can check this. 15 minus 6 times negative 5. And how does that compare to a negative 3 times a negative 5 minus 6 times a negative 5? Well, negative 3 times a negative 5 is a 15. And negative 6 minus 6 times a negative 5 is a minus 30. So that's a plus 30 in both cases. So both sides equal 45, which makes k equal to negative 5. All right, let's take a look at the next couple of problems I got. I got 5 and 7, and I think I got 9 and 11 yet to go, so that way you know. Okay, now notice I've got stuff on both sides that I need to simplify with. So I'll do the left side first. 8 minus 3 is a positive 5. And on the other side, I got 2b plus b. That's really 2b plus 1b, which means I have 3b minus 5. Now again, I like to move the smaller variable first so I can get it all onto one side. Well, the smaller variable would be this one over here that's only a 1b. So I minus 1b from both sides. That gets me a 5 on that side and a 2b on this side and a minus 5. Now I can get rid of the minus 5 by doing the opposite. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. And that gets me a 10 equaling the 2b. Now I can divide by 2, and I get 5 equals b. Now again, I like to check these to make sure that they do work out. So let's check it real quick. I've got 5 plus 8 minus 3. 5 plus 8 is 13. Minus 3 would give me a 10 on the left. On the other side, I got 2 times 5. Plus 5 minus 5. Well, the minus 5 plus 5 cancel each other off. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 does equal 10, so 5 is B. Okay, on to the next problem. Notice this time I don't have to do any simplification because all I have is an n in the number and an n in the number. So I'm going to move the smaller variable first, which would mean I'm going to add the 7n to both sides, because the negative number is smaller than the positive number. So on the left they cancel off, and I'm left with the 5. On the right I got 5n plus 7n gives me a 12n plus 5. Now I can get rid of the 5 because it's not hooked to the end, so I would minus 5 from both sides, and I get 0 equals 12n. So now I can divide by the 12, and I get 0 equals n, and we can check that real quick. If I put a 0 in there, I get a negative 7 times 0 plus 5, which means I just have a 5. On the other side, I got 5 times 0 plus 5. Well, 5 times 0 is 0, so it's gone, so I just have a 5, and 5 does equal 5. So n does equal 0. Seems to be a pattern going on here. Okay, so now let's look at these two problems. Number 9, notice there's lots of stuff in there, so that must mean we have to have some simplification. First one I have is a negative 7b plus 5b. Well, a negative 7 plus 5 is a negative 2, so I have a negative 2b. So I have 1 minus 2b on one side. On the other side, I've got the 3b, and I'm supposed to take away 4b. Well, 3 take away 4 is a negative 1b plus 7. Now, this is why I say I want to move the smaller one first. Negative 2 is actually smaller than negative 1. It's further left on the number line, so I'm going to add 2b to both sides. That'll eliminate the 2b here on the left, giving me a 1. And on the other side, I got 2b minus 1b, which is just a b plus 7. Now I can take away the 7 from both sides, and I get a negative 6 equals b. Again, we want to check these to make sure that they're right. So 1 minus 7 times a negative 6 plus 5 times a negative 6. Well, that would give me 1 minus a negative 42, so plus 42 minus 30, which would mean I have a 13 on that side. On the other one, I have 3 times negative 6 plus 7 minus 4 times negative 6. Well, 3 times negative 6 is a negative 18 plus 7 minus a negative 24, that would be plus 24. So I actually have a negative 11 plus 24, which would give me a 13 on that side. So that works out as well. So again, it's negative 6 equals b. Okay, number 11. Again, the first thing I want to do is look to see if I can simplify anything, and there's nothing to simplify. Both sides are as simple as they can get. So then I would want to do is move the smaller x. But I notice that they're both exactly 6x. I even notice even more that they're exactly the same on both sides of the equal sign, 1 plus 6. So if I subtracted a 6x, I would be down to 1 equals 1. If I subtracted a 1 from both sides, I get 0 equals 0. These are always true statements, the way they're written, no matter what I put in for x. So our answer is all real numbers. If we get a problem like this, it's all real numbers because both sides are exactly the same. We had one on the previous assignment where we had no solution as an answer because when we got down to the number parts, they weren't equal. So you got to watch for those tricky ones. But that's your assignment. You're solving equations. You might have to simplify, but you are going to see that they have variables on both sides. So after you get them simplified, move the smaller variable first, and then it's down to the two-step equations I know you know how to do. Okay, you finished the last 14 problems.